Do you eat when you're stressed? Do you eat when you're bored? Some people it's the sweets, some people it's overeating in general. This is not about you and the carbs. This is not about you and the donuts, you and the overeating, you and the late night snacking. It's not about that anymore. But what does that mean and why? If we find out why are we doing this? Ask yourself the next time you're doing that, is it really necessary to do that? And the weight will just melt off. I'm telling you, it is incredible. So the studies have shown that the heat shock proteins and sitting in a sauna is almost the equivalent of having cardiovascular exercise. So the great thing about this is that, again, with relatively little effort, yes, you have to find a sauna, and I know that the gyms hopefully are opening up again. If you're lucky enough to have a sauna on your, in your premises or in the gym that you go to, this is certainly when you're considering now going back to a gym, consider having and getting a membership in a gym that has a sauna. And why is that? Well, increasing our core body temperature is much like doing cardiovascular exercise. So the studies have shown that even, hormonal changes with these heat shock proteins and that heat stress from cardiovascular is just like cardiovascular exercise. And it helped with heart rate as well as systolic and diastolic blood pressure levels and the same physiologic responses as working out. So we know that working out, of course, so good amounts of exercise helps us to lose weight, but now by sitting in a sauna, this will help as well. So fantastic.
Now we're going into summer here. Does that mean if I'm outside, it's 35 degrees plus humidity, is that the same or at least close? No?
I wish it was. I wish it was, and this is the thing. That's why the sauna, it has to be that high temperature. So I usually recommend over 70 degrees Celsius, which is the conversion's around 160 degrees Fahrenheit.
Okay.
It's hot. So, and you want 20 to 30 minutes of exposure. If you can sit in there for 30 minutes, that would be ideal.
But it's a different kind of heat, isn't it, than 70 degrees outside if it ever got that hot. Is it a dry heat? Is that what it is?
Well, it depends which type of sauna you're using. So certainly, I love the far infrared sauna. That's something that I love to spend time in. However, in a traditional Finnish sauna, so the traditional, Scandinavian saunas, they tend to be a little bit higher in temperature. But yes, and some people find it more difficult to breathe in the traditional Finnish saunas as opposed to the far infrared. That's one of the reasons that I love the far infrared, but I love the benefits of this. So just think about it. So going from the cold exposure, yes, one extreme, that's really good for the weight loss, but sitting in the sauna for about 30 minutes at that high temperature is fantastic as well. And of course, remember to stay hydrated. Always bring your water bottle into the sauna, glass water. You don't want to bring plastic and heat up plastic in a sauna, but your glass water bottle or a mug of water into the sauna, stay hydrated, you will sweat it out, and it's fantastic. And they found even for muscle mass, maintaining muscle mass in bodybuilders, doing and increasing their heat shock proteins was really in such an important aspect of maintaining muscle. So even on the days between training for bodybuilders was an incredible way to maintain their muscle mass, even on their non-training days. And they actually discovered this with athletes that were injured and had to try to maintain muscle mass during their injury and their recovery time, and it was the saunas that was able to do this. I mean, it's incredible.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That really is amazing to learn. And there are some cultures, I guess, who have known about saunas and the effectiveness of that heat for a long time now. I learned a lot personally, and I hope you did too, for the men in your life. And that reminds me to remind you to leave your questions and comments in the comments section below. Dr. Janine is online to answer your questions during the show. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and click that bell so you can get notifications of the next shows coming up.